Good morning, good people. I'm frothing my coffee-ish sort of stuff. It's not really coffee. My thing with my everyday dose. Boom. So here we are once again. Today is Monday, February 17th, 2025. Good morning, Watanabe. Hanging on by our fingertips, which is a good thing. That's what Jordan Peterson calls dancing on the edge or something like that. There. Let's see, what is that everyday dose? That is that mushroom type of coffee substitute, better for you sort of ish, not really thing. Leaving Cleveland tonight. So how do you like Cleveland? Cleveland. Okay, well, today is another day, Monday. Today we're going to go out there, make it happen, figure out how to make contact with the churches. Who's going to make contact? Wednesday is our event, our wraparound event. So that's good. Good on you. And let's see, what else? What else we got going? Okay, what's our theme of today? The theme of today is very simple. It is week 4, day 1 of our 4-week neuroscience-oriented approach to success, and it's also President's Day. So, okay. Sometimes these days, these podcasts are better than others. But it's not just entertainment, right? Well, we know it's not entertaining at all. It's not the entertainment, folks. It's the pain. Embrace the suck. Right. Well, yeah. So it's about repetition, building better habits, doing the things that need to be done. Okay. Who stole my phone? I know it was here a little while ago. Oh well, doesn't matter. Okay, what do we got on our hit parade? Well, so what are we doing? Trying to help our students and other people on their journey through this life, which is carried out by a body, a transcendent soul in a body. We are not a body with a spirit, we're a spirit with a body. So while we are here, we have this body. And what we need to do is take care of it so it can take care of us. Health and fitness, learning, controlling our emotions, and of course the spiritual side, honoring the gift of the Creator. What is the gift of the Creator? Well, we have many, but number one is life. We're alive. We're no longer just atoms in the void. We have come together in this body with the spirit, be it Buddhist, Hindu, whatever it is. Ultimately, they all come to the same point. When you cut through the legalistic part, when you cut through the dogma, fundamentally they are the same. There is something after this life, and how you behave now has an impact on that. Probably even the Valhalla guys, right? There's something after this life, and how you act in this life has an impact on that. Islam. There's something after this life. How you act in this life has an impact after that. The rules of it what happens is different, but that's the common thing. Okay, so boom, 5 minutes and 8 seconds in. Advice from an 80-year-old. Give people a second chance and a third, etc. Don't write people off. Life is literally too short. Life compared to eternity as we know it, which is just from the Big Bang till now, life as we know it, our life is but the width of a hair compared to an 7.84 mile journey. Pretty small, pretty short. So if that is it compared to eternity, any amount of pain and suffering we have is really nothing compared. We can stand it. It's like a punch in the arm. Right? It's painful at the moment, but quickly goes away. And in the context or relative to the whole time, it was nothing. How did I get so excited or so upset about that little instant that was nothing? It's like somebody making fun of you when you're a little kid. Move on, move on. You move on. Novum-u. Move on. Novum. Okay. Ba-boom-ba. Okay, that's our advice from an 80-year-old. Let's see what Seth Godin has to say today. All of it, all at once. The smartphone is the most expensive device most people own. And the one they use the most. I agree with that. Here's everything you can't have, can't afford, and won't get right here. Here's everyone you want to have an argument with, one click away. Here's every piece of bad news we can imagine, much of it imagined instead of real. Connection is powerful and magical. It's also enervating. Enervating? Subject to manipulation and addiction. Right. Connection is powerful and magical. It's also enervating, subject to manipulation and addiction and addictive. Thought I had a no, I don't seem to. Oh yeah, there we go. Enervating. Enervate, to cause to decline in strength or vigor, to weaken. It's also enervating, weakening, subject to manipulation and addictive. Okay, thank you, Seth Godin, once again. Let's talk about week 4. What is week 4, day 1? Week 4 is about leadership. It's about your ship is now afloat. Your boat is now afloat. The journey has begun. Don't crash the boat. Don't blow it. Keep going. So dealing with people. How do we make sure to keep moving forward? And so we break it down into 3 states. 3 states. 1, that this leadership is on a spectrum. One end is crisis leadership, and the other end is pure leadership, and then it's mostly practical leadership. Today we start with Today we start with crisis leadership. Tomorrow we're going to go to pure leadership, and then we're going to spend the rest of the week in between. So crisis leadership, Professor Nancy Kane, who's been a big supporter of what we've been doing for about 10 years, wrote a book, which she sent us several hundred copies of. She wrote a book about crisis leadership, how to keep going when things are bad. And tomorrow we're going to get pure leadership. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful guy in the world, what he said in his notes to himself, his private thoughts. And then the rest of the week is going to be practical leadership. We're going to focus on Ignatius of Loyola. Righto. Nancy Kane gives us 10 rules on how to handle being in a crisis. It is well worth the watch. Okay, good. So there's that. Let's see what else we have in our worksheet. That's where all the magic occurs. Jordan Peterson, The Way of the Lie. So he breaks down what lying does to us. And basically says, and if that's the way you want to go, great. Darren Hardy, talking about George Washington, because today is President's Day. And he points out how George Washington in his early 20s was a total disaster and responsible for starting the 7-Year War, which Darren Hardy likens to the First World War. Not really, but you have the Peloponnesian Wars, you have the Punic Wars, maybe in modern times, in the mid-1700s, that he makes some colossal errors, acting as a young guy in good faith, not understanding the treachery of other people. And then he goes into exile for almost 20 years. 20 years. And then he comes back to be arguably the father of this country. Well, that's what he's known as. And a really cool dude, kind of like Baruch Espinosa. Okay, so Darren Hardy does the thing on him of how he went from the ashes to the phoenix, how he became who he was, starting or going to through the stuff that he did. Didn't give up, kept moving forward. The Daily Stoic, fame is worthless. Marcus Aurelius talking about that things we think are really important, these people are really important, tomorrow they are forgotten. Right. It kind of goes to the whole eternity thing. Things that we think are important one way or another really aren't. What is important is the destination. Getting to the destination as ready as possible. And here we believe the best evidence is that one should follow the teachings of Jesus. Now, notice I said the teachings of Jesus. All right, what he said to do, focus on the teaching. Most people who consider themselves Christians, and the definition of that is, I study my Bible every day. They think that Jesus' purpose was to die to take away the sins of the world. But if you look at what he did and what he said, it was as a teacher trying to teach people. And if you apply that to John 3:16, the plain meaning of the words, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but shall have everlasting life. So what does that mean? Teachings. Not God sent him to die because God was mad at people because they were bad. So God killed his son to make up for the badness that the people did, and they didn't change, and they still haven't changed anyway. Except they now have this little get out of hell card that says, all you have to do is believe that Jesus died for your sins and he's your Lord. You don't have to know anything about him. You can see you have a relationship with him. But if you don't know anything about the context of, if all you know is the gospel parts, you don't know him at all. You don't know him because you don't know the world in which he was raised. and the things and what he did. All you know are little snapshots in time. It'd be like taking a photo album of somebody that's got 50 pages of photos and to say, I know that person because I've seen their photo album. And I've never talked to anybody who took the pictures or who was there. All I have are the photos. And I can create the story of the person's life and what they believed and what their aspirations were, etc. I can take this photo of dinner holding up a glass, cheers around a bunch of people that are happy, and I can tell you what his day-to-day life was like. To an extent. But it's extreme hubris to think that just because you meditate on that picture, you know the person's life. Maybe that was their Sunday best. Maybe that was a very special, once in a lifetime opportunity. It wasn't the day-to-day dinner meal. Who knows? Okay. Anyway, what not a bevy? How are you? Is it still snowing in Cleveland? Is you cold? What's happening over there? Blessed. She's on blast and she's blessed. She's blessed to be on blast. Okay, well, we're going to call it. We're going to call it. Snow stop. We're going to eat breakfast, and Kat is going home soon. Oh, yeah. It's a holiday. Right. Really? Okay. Okay, well, best wishes to all, and to all a good day. Okay. All right, people. We're going to sign out now. I'm going to say and cut. Bump. Shivas and shalom. Peace and scotch. I never heard from Catherine whether she had any of those bourbones. Okay. Talk to you people later. Be good. If you can't be good, be careful. Not really.